Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this presentation. My name is Jim Abernethy, and I am honored, humbled, and very grateful to be able to speak to you today about something that I'm very passionate about, and that is sharks. I believe this presentation will show you a different side of sharks, as I was very fortunate to discover the affectionate side of sharks back in 2001. But my story actually starts in Palm Beach County, Florida, where I was raised. At the age of 4, I started snorkeling, and then soon thereafter started scuba diving. Finally got scuba certified at the age of 12, and after college dove headfirst into the scuba diving industry and started a business, Jim Abernethy Scuba Adventures, where I primarily ran day boats in the 80s and into the late 90s and the beginning of 2000. In those very early days, I was fortunate enough to see the sand tiger sharks, which is also called the gray nurse shark, in great numbers on all the shipwrecks in Palm Beach County, as well as the scalloped hammerhead, which in the winter months used to be from the surface all the way down to the bottom. And this really changed my life because these two species completely disappeared within the first decade of my scuba diving history. In the 80s, I started hearing about the slaughter of sharks worldwide for the insatiable desire for shark fin soup, but in the 90s, I actually started seeing shark pictures and video of massive numbers of dead sharks. And in those days, I thought I was the only person on the planet that actually truly loved sharks and thought that my purpose here on the planet would be to be the voice for sharks, to save sharks worldwide. So I came up with a list of things that I needed to do. Overcome the fear of speaking in public and do presentations worldwide like this one right here. Replace fear of sharks with love for sharks. Become a National Geographic photographer and use those pictures to make the world's best shark conservation book. Make truthful films showcasing the true nature of sharks, not what is commonly done as the mindless man-eating monster, which is so far away from the truth. Become an ultralight pilot in order to help films get aerial footage inexpensively, and most importantly, move from land to sea. And I did this by purchasing a liveaboard shark expedition vessel called the Shearwater. I became consumed with the underwater world, living on location in the beautiful Bahama waters from 1997 till this present day. I was just overwhelmed with the beauty and the difference in what people think and feel about sharks. In the early days, I explored all of the Bahama Islands with long 10 and 16-day trips until finally in 2001 I was fortunate enough to discover Tiger Beach, which is now the world's best shark diving location worldwide. In those early days, I was fortunate also to meet a shark that I named Captain Ron. It's the shark on the left that you see there. And this shark was missing its left eye. And in 2001, the shark swam up with a hook in its head. And here you can see the missing eye on the left side. And I was just at a loss for words. You see, these sharks that I was with on a daily basis became my dogs. Imagine if your dog came home with a hook through its head. And I was just struggling mentally, trying to figure out how I could catch this shark and remove the hook, and finally came to the conclusion that I should try to do this the same way I would with a dog, which is to rub its head, see if it would respond favorably to love and affection. And I did this and quickly became friends with this shark, and within 2 hours I was able to remove the hook completely, as you can see here. And these images you see are the next roughly year, where finally this shark was completely healed. As I looked around at all the sharks, well over 100 within my view, over 50% of the sharks had hooks. And at this point, I thought, game changer. My new conservation campaign will be to make friends with all of them and remove all their hooks. And as you can see from these images that are all Captain Ron, the one-eyed lemon shark, this shark became the feature point of most of my best lemon shark photos. But no story would be complete about the affectionate side of sharks without the queen of Tiger Beach, Emma, as you can see in this picture here. Emma is a 15-foot tiger shark that I've befriended in early 2001, and using love and affection, I built a trusting relationship that has lasted for decades. I still see Emma on many of our trips this year. She is quite large and intimidating to those that don't know her. But when I look at her, I don't see a 15-foot tiger shark. I see a gentle creature that is loving and caring and thrives on love and affection. As you can see,
Here she comes. See her? Here she comes right here, look. Oh, ready. Oh my God.
and such became the future for Emma. She was the star in a multitude of films, 16 of them that I put her in. And this is the scene from the film This Is Your Ocean, Sharks, which was the first film that actually showed affectionate. I wanted to dispel the mentality of the rest of the world thinking that they're monsters. I have that opportunity because of my relationship with Emma. You can see that this supposedly very dangerous creature wants nothing to do with me as a food source. In fact, it's very much like your dog swimming up to give you a kiss. It's the same kind of creature. So this next story that I wanted to tell you about is with this tiger shark that you can see here that was named Tarantino because she stole one of my friend's cameras while it was recording video and made a hilarious scene. And Tarantino was the name that he wanted to give this shark because it was a very creative filmmaker. And I told him that the shark was actually a girl, so rather than calling it Quentin Tarantino, he just named her Tarantino. And this is the scene. I'd like to share with you a very special encounter that I had this past week at Tiger Beach. An old friend I've known for nearly a decade appeared, Tarantino, a large, affectionate tiger shark. I was so happy to see her, I jumped out in front of my camera and gave her some love and affection, not realizing that I was drifting away in a strong current. I had to swim back. I hoped my encounter wasn't over. And as I looked back, I was so happy to see her coming back into my arms where I could give her more of what she really wanted. She moved away, so I stopped, but she immediately turned back. I gave her more love and affection. I could tell she had missed it. I got a little carried away and once again I found myself down current. So I swam back, still hoping that she would follow me and make this special moment last even longer. And fortunately, she did. This time, she went over to the camera and the lights. I prayed that it didn't fall over. Actually, Jason, one of the crew, reached out and gave her some love as well. But then she came back over to me, and I gave her exactly what she wants. I wish there was some way that I could get the world to see what these beautiful creatures are really like, so we could end the needless slaughter and keep our oceans healthy, not only for them, but for our own existence on the planet. There have been some rather comical things that have happened along the way. Presently, there have been 84 cameras that have been taken by tiger sharks. Of course, we're not counting GoPro as a camera. I don't know what that number would be. But some of this is very humorous, especially if it's not your camera. And I thought you might enjoy a little humor. So I wanted to show you Emma swimming away with my camera. As you can see here, to me this is just like a dog swimming away with a chew toy. And here's a couple more images of cameras being taken away. And next, I wanted to talk to you about being creative in order to reach your goal. I was very fortunate to be part of a team that put together the world's most viral shark conservation public service announcement, which is called Tiger Sharks. Please enjoy this.
I'll make love to my enemy. I'll win this war without a fight. With 1,000 kisses, I'll surrender.
While that was going on, there was a particularly strange thing that happened. You see, in order to get that to work, I asked all of my crew to do the thing that I had been doing, making friends with all species of sharks, but I asked them to particularly train the tiger sharks on a hand signal, which means, do you want your head rubbed, by rubbing your thumb to your fingertips, so that we could train all the tiger sharks to relax and enjoy our companionship, our trusting relationship that's been built across for years. And for 9 months, we didn't have a wild tiger shark. A wild tiger shark is a shark that is afraid, swims about erratically, looking for the fish that is attracting them, and somewhat scary. Well, this happened during the filming of Tigress Sharks, and how I conquered it was I asked my chef if he would go in the water and smother Hannah Tiger with love and affection. And this is what it looks like just 5 days later.
I'd like to share with you another special encounter that we had during the making of Tigress Sharks. With Hannah Fraser at the center stage and Sean Heinrichs directing and a fabulous film crew, we watched the tiger shark swim around Hannah, and suddenly this shark came in. New to human encounters and everything going on, everyone on board wanted to name this new shark after our superstar, Hannah Fraser. May I present to you Hannah Tiger. And as you can see, Jason Harvey kneeling in the sand, giving Hannah Tiger affection. The shark is watching his hand signal, and every time he gives it, the shark comes back for love and affection. This shark is responding to just love and affection, not fish. We did not feed at all. This is just love and affection, which proves beyond a shadow of a doubt, once again, sharks are sentient animals and need to be treated with respect and admiration, the same as dogs and cats. It's time we put a stop to shark finning worldwide. If you'd like to find out more about how we stumbled upon giving sharks love and affection to remove hooks from them, or help us save these magnificent creatures that are so essential to our future existence on the planet, be the voice for those that cannot speak. Visit our website. Contact us. Thank you.
In this video, you can see a beautiful whale shark, the world's largest fish. In 2005, roughly, I discovered the largest aggregation of whale sharks worldwide. And I was so happy to discover this and promote it to the world, because as a conservationist, my very best shark conservation campaign is called Worth More Alive. And sadly, the island that I was staying on, Isla Mujeres, Mexico, in those days was an island of death, where the starving population of people there were not doing well because they were in the fishing industry and all the fish were dying. And then we came along and discovered this, and within 2 or 3 years, this was a multi-billion-dollar industry. The fishermen switched quickly over to ecotourism, knowing that this is a renewable resource that they can make money on every single year as long as they protect the resource. And this made me really happy to come back every single year and see the island prosper. The families are happy because they know that they will be making money every single year on this renewable resource, the world's largest aggregation of whale sharks. And sometimes we are delighted to be in the company of manta rays as well, which is spectacular. It's such a thrill. There's not really words to describe what it's like to actually be in the presence of manta rays and whale sharks in huge numbers like this. And definitely the world has noticed and are going to these renewable resource ecotourism operators to see these beautiful animals. I'm so glad that the island of Isla Mujeres is now an island of ecotourism. The families are happy, everybody's making more money, and things could not be better in the island of Isla Mujeres. I believe there's only one shark fisherman left on the island, and he already has some ecotourism boats. So the shift is truly amazing. This campaign, Worth More Alive, also was utilized a few years later, I think in 2010, when sadly the Bahama Islands, the Bahama government was underneath a request for the Taiwanese to take these beautiful islands, as you can see here, and allow the Taiwanese fishing fleet to remove these beautiful sharks like this tiger shark you see here. The Bahamas is a country of very shallow, crystal clear water with lots of islands and a large abundance and diversity of sharks. This is me giving some love to a tiger shark in the background there at the world's top shark diving location, Tiger Beach. Very shallow water with tiger sharks, great hammerheads like you see the one coming in here on the right, oceanic white tips, silky sharks, dusky sharks, lemon sharks, Caribbean reef sharks. And the nice thing about being in the Bahamas is that that campaign, Worth More Alive, we successfully run and achieved success within a year. The Bahamas government had realized that the truth, which is if you kill the animal, it's worth about $200 or $300 dead one time. But if you leave the animal alive, like you see Emma in this video right here, she's worth about $125,000 over the course of her lifetime. I would argue that she's worth even more because she's so famous, and everyone goes to Tiger Beach to see this beautiful, loving, gentle giant. In addition, the Bahamas also has an abundance of the world's largest hammerhead, the great hammerhead, which you can see here. This animal grows to the same length as the white shark, 21 feet, 7 meters, and is completely unafraid. A perfect ecotourism shark because people come from all over the world to see this beautiful, beautiful creature, which adds to the prosperity of the people there that were smart enough to realize that we need to stop killing sharks. We need to save them so that we can make money on them every single year, rather than allowing the Taiwanese to kill them one time for profit. I looked at this problem, the fact that there are so many of these beautiful creatures with hooks in their face, like you can see in this oceanic white tip, and I thought I must do a better job. So it was at that point that I decided that I was going to start training all my guests how to make friends with sharks, with the hopes that this would transpire into sharks being more relaxed in our direct vicinity so that they would be more susceptible to having hooks removed. And boy, did this work. And I wanted to give you some examples of what it's like to make friends with a 9-foot lemon shark, or any type of shark for that matter. In this video, you can see 3 of our guests giving a lemon shark love and affection while it has a remora inside of its mouth cleaning its teeth, which is quite remarkable how comfortable the lemon sharks have become. In this video, you see one of my favorite sharks, Nakawi, goddess of the sea, very happily relaxed in my arms as I rub her head, as you can see here. And this is another one of my lemon shark friends, Darcy, who's now leaning over looking at me just to make sure that she knows who I am, and in future dives she will seek me out, stop swimming right in front of me in order to get her head rubbed. It's quite a remarkable thing. In this video you see a lemon shark at a cleaning station with remores inside of its mouth while I'm stroking the backside of this. It's just amazing once you have these long-term relationships what you can actually have happen, like you see here with one of my guests. You need to come out and see this for yourself.
I feel incredibly privileged to be here in the Bahamas with Dorothy, this lemon shark. I'm hoping that you can see this true nature of sharks and help put a stop to the killing of such beautiful apex predators who keep our oceans healthy and in balance. I've learned how to make friends with sharks with Jim Abernethy and his crew, and after only a couple of dives she sees me and stops swimming nearby to get affection. I've also learned how the sharks truly need us to help them in their fight for existence. I was certified just over 2 years ago with a strong desire to learn about sharks and to help stop the needless, brutal slaying of them. Look at how peaceful and serene it is here. There's no need for fear, just knowledge. Please help us in the fight to save sharks in the ocean.
So in conclusion, I'd like to thank you very much for the privilege of your time. I hope that this presentation has changed your perception of sharks. If you're interested in helping us by joining us on one of our trips, you can find out more information at my website, scuba-adventures.com. And thank you once again. It's been a real privilege to be able to talk to you.